All right, and welcome back. We're about 5 minutes from starting out our men's race here at the 2025 Lewis Crossover. We just had a great women's race come down to the wire, and we're still waiting on some final results there, but we have a great race on deck here in the men's 8K, and you can see them all getting to the line, doing final strides, final stretches. We've got a lot of great teams and individuals here in this one. And on the team side, there are 12 nationally ranked teams in the coaches poll, led by Colorado Christian out of the South Central region, followed by Chico State at number 8, number 10 Saginaw Valley State out of the Midwest, number 13 Pitt State, Western Washington at 14, Lewis at 16, Fort Lewis at 17, Northwest Nazarene at 18, Michigan Tech at 19, number 21 Florida Southern, and then Walsh at number 23 and Biola at number 28 round out our teams. And as you can hear, there are a lot of teams very bunched up together in the rankings, and I'm sure that will be very fun to watch. A very close race should be. And this is huge, again, for those that weren't with us for the women's race. In the men's race, this is really the first time that a lot of these teams are getting head-to-head action in the D2 ranks. And that'll be huge for these rankings and for postseason implications as well. And it's very huge if you're not in the top 3 in your region, which some of these teams will most likely not finish in the top 3 at their region. It's important to have out-of-region head-to-head victories against some of those other teams that you may be competing with to get one of those 10 at-large bids. Again, for those that don't know, there are 8 regionals, and the top 3 get auto-qualifiers. So if you finish top 3, you'll be good. But not everyone will, and so that's where it comes down. Being able to take care of business today for these teams will be huge. And again, just like in the South Central region where Colorado Christian is from, there are a lot of ranked teams. Fort Lewis, for example, number 17 in the country, and they're ranked 7th in their South Central region right now. So picking up these out-of-region wins is going to be crucial, because that's just a very tough regional to get top 3 at. We've got a lot of Midwest teams here as well. Very familiar with this course. It was the site of the Midwest Regional last year. That was a 10K today. It'll be an 8K. But our officials giving final instructions and getting ready to get us started here. And these competitors will be heading straight uphill to start this race. But after that, it'll flatten out. It'll narrow out a little bit. And we'll be pretty flat and fast from there. But it's very important to get out in a race like this. Okay. And our final results are up now on the women's side. And Hannah Hartwell held on to the win in that one. And I'll dive more into that here in a minute. But for the time being, our men are about to start. And you can see this is a big field. A lot of competitors here. And they'll all charge towards that hill. And like I was saying, getting position out of this hill is very important because it'll narrow up a little bit and it'll take about a K before you can really start to make moves again and move up in the race. There's a lot on the line today for these teams. And they're off. And this is really where you see a lot of guys starting to gain fitness. Headed into championship season here through the month of October and into November. This is where we get to start to see who's for real, who we've maybe been underappreciating, who's been underrated. And they attack this hill here. It's definitely a shock to the system to start, but most of these athletes won't be feeling it by the end as they fight for position here. And they're out strong. It is a tight pack. One individual out front fast. And again, on our women's side, really quickly, because for those that were watching, we did not have the final results, but they are up now. And we had a great finish in that one. Came down to the line. Hannah Hartwell is your individual champion in 20:45.07. Claire Rethman from Walsh in 20:45.09. So a 2/200ths of a second difference was the deciding factor. And if you watch that race, Rethman was charging hard down the line, and we could not tell who won in real time. But a great race in that front. And rounding out our top 5 here was Paige Mullen from Pitt State, Irish Molina from Chico State, and Hannah Gibson from Pitt State. So 2 Pitt State teammates inside of the top 5. And then in our scores, Chico State held on for the win. A great day for them, upsetting the number 9 Lewis Flyers, who finished in second, led by Mary Edwards and Josephine Bober, 7th and 8th. And then rounding out our teams on the women's side, Biola from California, who was unranked heading into today, comes in and upsets almost the entirety of the field. Just a great day for them. And that'll be huge for their rankings, for their regionals. Just a massive day. And then Colorado Mesa, ranked 28th, finished 4th. They've upset a lot of teams here today as well. A great showing for them, as I believe they're also in that South Central region. So they picked up a lot of crucial wins today over some teams that they might be competing for at-large bids at if they don't get top 3. And then Pitt State rounded out our top 5. Like I said, they had 2 in the top 5 on the individual side, so a pretty good day for them as well. But back to our men's race here. They're kind of starting to make their way out towards the back end of this course. And the back end is a little less crowded than our start and middle part. It's a little tough to get out there. But we've got some great teams here today and some great individuals to watch as well. One of which being Evan Horgan on his home course from Lewis. He finished 13th last year at Cross Country Nationals for D2, looking to follow up a great season last year. You see him on the outside there. Other individuals to look out for, pair of Tippin teammates, Roman Rodriguez and Mario Giannini. Rodriguez actually just finished 2nd at the Lucian Rosa Invite 2 weeks ago at Parkside. And again, for those that don't know, Parkside is going to be the host of the national championships here in about a month and a half up in Wisconsin. He ran 24:13 on a very tough course. For anyone who's ever seen that course, it is hilly. It is hot at that time of the year. So to finish 2nd in a race that had a lot of the top teams in the country, very impressive showing. And Matthew Storr from Colorado Christian, also someone to look for as well. And it's pretty bunched up so far. A little different than our women's race, where we saw pretty much 2 individuals from the jump string it out. But these men look content to keep it packed up so far. A lot of competitors still in it. And they're heading down on the back straight now. Again, some long straightaways on the back end of this course here. A little bit of an incline. And again, this part is the farthest part, so you're not going to see many fans and spectators out here. And during our women's race, it can get a little blurry at times. So we'll just have to watch out for that as well. And they're about 6 wide. No real discernible individual that wants to go and take it yet, which isn't uncommon in this men's race. We've seen it in previous years where some of these teams are just kind of trying to feel each other out at the start. You might have to wait till 4 or 5K before you really start seeing someone go for it here. And we should be getting some live splits for you guys as well. I don't think there are any that'll be up yet, but we should see some soon. And again, you couldn't ask for much better weather than today. About perfect. It's about 64 degrees. A little windier than it was during the women's race, but not too bad still. And it's set up to go fast here today. Very fast individuals, a lot of depth in this race, so I'm sure they'll be getting after it. And they're on this backside now out by the barn. They'll be making their way back towards the middle of the course here where a lot of our fans have lined the way for them. And again, we got teams from all across the country here today. We've got teams from Alaska, from California, Colorado, Florida, all over the place. This is where you really start to see, you know, a lot of these teams jostle for position, find out what they're made of. This is a big race, very big race. See who will step up to the moment here today. And you're seeing it's getting a little thinned out now, but still a pretty big pack as we see some of our individuals on our sky cam here. It's a great day for cross country. And they're making their way up the part of the course we call the finger here. They'll reach out and then they'll cut back around. You can see some of our fans starting to line the way. It's getting a little thinned out now. Again, some teams to watch for here. Colorado Christian, our highest ranked team coming into it. Another team that's off to a great start this season, Saginaw Valley State, number 10. Ranked second in the Midwest region right now. They had a good season last year as well. It looks like we have one individual that's kind of started to make his move a little bit here. And if we get splits popping up, which it doesn't seem like we have right now, get a name to them. There are some unattached individuals in this one. So we'll see. Again, a name that I don't think I've mentioned yet, Henry Bourne from Missouri S&T. I think he's running this race unattached, but he had a very good track season last year as well. Broke 14 in the 5K, as many of these leaders have. Another individual to potentially look for, Cayman Vijay from Lewis, transferred from New Mexico last year. The sophomore. And they make their way through here, the middle of the course. They're heading back to the new part of the course. A new soccer field was built out there, so they've had to rearrange the course, and there's quite a few more turns now than there used to be. And there's advantages and disadvantages of that. It used to be a long, long straightaway, which again, sometimes running these long straightaways, runners tend to settle in a little too much, but if you can stay locked in and dialed in, running long straights can be advantageous. But with these extra turns, they can kind of naturally slow you down a little bit. So we'll see if this plays into any of the strategy by our top packs here when they want to time their moves. And again, they'll come through here again in a little bit. They're going to be heading back out to the back side once they get through these turns. Again, no hills after that first one. Start. Again, we don't have any live splits yet, but there's plenty of competitors that are still in this. can see from our lead cart cam here. See a whole lot of red up there again. Lewis, Saginaw, got Biola as well. A lot of red teams out there, so sometimes it's a little hard to distinguish who's who. There's barely a cloud in the sky today. Sun is shining down on these guys, but not very hot, and it looks like they're avoiding the concrete there. They're heading into the back part of the course again. Near Airport Road, what we call it. And planes flying in overhead. Makes for an interesting backdrop in a race like this. You can really see that it's starting to thin out just a little bit here. We had a pack that maybe had 20 individuals and no real gaps at all, and you can see some gaps starting to form. It's important for these guys to put their heads down and lock into the guy in front of them. Again, you can see some of these teams are more pack-based teams. Maybe they don't have a low stick, but they've got 5 guys that can all get down there quick. And it's just interesting to see the team dynamics play out here. Again, we had, as I count them right now, between 13 to 21st, there are only 2 teams from 13 to 21st that are not here today. So we'll really get to see how that starts to go. And it looks like we've got some splits. And our leader, Mario Giannini, out of Chico. Followed by Matthew Storr, Ramon Rodriguez, Grady Mylander of Northwest Nazarene leading them. Again, they're ranked number 18 in the country. But this is a pretty thick pack. As you can see, there's about 15 guys all within 2 or 3 seconds of each other. So no one's quite out of it yet. And then over on the team side, Colorado Christian is out to a lead, but it's still pretty packed up so far. Got Colorado Christian, Saginaw Valley State, Chico State, 1, 2, 3, all to be expected, followed by Western Washington and Florida Southern. All the main players are out so far. But we'll see. We're still pretty early. Again, that split, I believe, is the 2K split. So a lot of shuffling left in this race, but it seems like the teams we thought would show up today have so far. And they're back on that long straightaway with a slight incline. Not much, though. Colorado Christian trains at altitude out there. Coming down closer to sea level. Again, it started to thin out, but we still have plenty of competitors that are very much in it for this individual title. Last year, Ryan Hartman from Augustana took the individual crown in this race. But we'll have a new champion here today. There will be no back-to-back. Again, it'll be interesting. Tiffin has 2 of the top-ranked individuals, and they're both in the top 6 right now. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Need the rest of their team to pull through with them. And Saginaw Valley has 4 individuals in the top 15. Talk about pack running. They got out the gate hard, which you're going to have to do at a meet like at the regionals or at the national meet. Be very crucial to get out and hold position. Western Washington also holding a pretty good pack. 3 in the top 20 as well. Again, in 5th, Juan Robles running unattached. I believe he ran for Adams State, who's not here today, but they were at Lucian Rosa 2 weeks ago. Again, talking about that loaded South Central region of death, some call it. Not really sure if people call it that, but I'll call it that, because there are always a lot of teams making it out. And Fort Lewis looking to have a good day today. Right now they're sitting in 9th, so hoping to move up a little bit on that end. Walsh as well, Lewis as well. Lewis sitting in 11th, looking to make some moves up. And again, it looks like that's about a pack of 4 or so. It started to kind of move away from the field. And they're making their way back to the middle of this course here, where all our fans anxiously await them. Yeah, looks like about 4 there. Not sure, we might have to wait a little bit before we get a new split. But I think what we're seeing right now is what they were at through 3K. Again, you see Tiffin, Chico, Colorado Christian making their way here while the fans cheer them on the backside of this finger again. And then they'll head back out. You can see that chase pack trying to keep them in contact there. Looks like Saginaw Valley State. And their pack of 3. And Jacob Walker, very experienced. The junior has seen success last year at the regional, making an all-regional team. He leads them. They have 3 in the top 12. It looks like they've moved up more. But our lead pack maintains a pretty strong gap between them. Again, they're coming in on this middle part of the course. You can see all our energetic fans here traveling from all over to be here today to support their teams. And they cut down through the middle here. It looks like we've shaved the pack down to 3. Again, we don't have a new split yet, so I'm not quite sure who that 4th individual is, but he's trying to hold on. Again, you can see our Skycam on top there. Great day to run a PR. These guys are all rolling through. You can just see how many competitors are in this field. It is a massive field. You can see why it's so important to get out to good positioning. With no second race this year, made it a little packed. leaders are making their way in, and it looks like two are starting to put a little bit of a gap in. As they head back, some of our fans starting to line the finish, secure their spot. Again, if this race plays anything out like the women's race did, then we're in for a great finish here. And I think that's Matthew Storr in our lead. It looks like we're getting new splits coming in. Oh, maybe not. I lied. Making their way on the back there. And this part of the course is new. Some of these competitors have probably never run it this way. As they make their way down. Looks like Tiffin holding on in there. Could be wrong. They're making their way down now towards our final chute. Now they're heading down the hill, and it looks like it's going to be a two-man race. And this one looks like it's going to come down to the wire as well. Battling back and forth here. And they're heading down the final hill, looking to use that momentum here. And you can hear the fans, but it looks like got one pulling away here, and it's Tiffin. Coming into the finish. Takes the win. And now we see the rest of our individuals coming through now. The team race will come close here. And again, we don't have any live splits yet. But we'll see as they look to close hard. And this team race is super consequential for the rest of the season. Teams looking to secure some out-of-region wins. See a lot of Pitt State. Some good pack running there by them. See Horgan from Lewis coming through. Every point matters here. And Pitt State seems to have gotten a lot of runners through. That looks like they've already gotten through 4 or 5. Another Lewis runner coming through, and they're making their way down the hill here. Just another great finish here at the Lewis crossover. Some great racing today. It's flown by. Again, I'll get you a live result as soon as I have it, but right now we don't have any. We'll see a lot of these 4th and 5th runners coming through. Like I said, every point here matters. Even our 6th runners, our 7th runners here can try to push extra points down on other teams' 5th. And again, at the last split we had, it was Colorado Christian, Saginaw Valley, and Chico State in the top 3. Heading into today, our rankings were Colorado Christian, Chico State, and Saginaw Valley in the top 3. So they were out to a good start. But Pitt State seemed to send through a lot of individuals there. At the last split we had, they were sitting in 6th, but it looks like they might have moved up a lot. But we'll see. See just a swarm of runners getting to the finish line. My man, they're getting a little extra camera time. They're putting it all on the line here today. You can see some of them just collapse. Talk about an energetic crowd here today. One of the bigger crowds we've seen here at the crossover. People coming from all over to support their teams. And they did that just today. As we see more runners coming through now. Just a huge day for D2 running. Again, everyone putting it out on the line, competing hard. You know, that's really the spirit of the crossover, to celebrate D2 running, to see these teams go head to head when maybe there aren't a ton of opportunities throughout the year. And guys get juiced for a day like today. This is really when you can start to see your sights on the postseason starting to turn a little bit here. You train all summer in the heat for a beautiful day like today as they start their ascent towards conference and regionals with hopes of nationals here. You can't make it to nationals if you don't get some wins here today. And we'll see again. I don't have anything yet for a final result. I apologize for that. But as soon as we have something, we'll get that to you. Let's see. It looks like we got a few more coming through here. Again, I'd suspect that there were some pretty fast times. There were some fast times over in the women's race. And I'd expect more of the same here in the men's. Again, just a wonderful day here at the Lewis Crossover. See these guys kicking hard here. Again, just a big weekend of running here in Chicago. The marathon tomorrow. But as far as we're concerned, the biggest meet of the weekend is right here in Romeoville. We've got a few more coming through here. Again, I don't have a final result for you guys yet. Looking to get those finished up, but got a few more coming through.
Yeah, he was that one Lewis guy that took the lead 2 years ago, right? Yeah, I don't know what that guy thought he was going to do.
We
Kind of crazy. Oh, which one? What was it called?
got.
Oh, that's the one with no prize money, so no one even shows up for it, right?
Again, for those
Definitely Mickey Mouse Marathon.
who did not hear, the women's race finished up. And again, I'll just read those off while we wait for the men's. But Chico State took a decisive victory and won by 40 points over the women of Lewis, who held up second. And again, Biola with another big day going from unranked to third in the women's race. Something tells me they'll be ranked next week. And Colorado Mesa picking up a lot of huge regional victories. Again, I don't think we have a final result for you. But again, if you go on athletic.net and go on their live results, those should be up at some point today. And again, it looks like we've got our final finishers coming through. So, with that being said, thank you for joining us today. Just a wonderful day of racing, celebrating D2 running, D2 competition, and seeing these men and women put it on the line today. Just a beautiful day here at Lewis. And again, we don't have results yet on the men's side, but races came down to the wire, and these will be hugely consequential for the postseason standings. So again, we thank you for joining us today, and have a great weekend.